Somebody took my footstool, so I can't reach it.
Is it in your kitchen?
I don't know where it is. I have them everywhere. Everywhere, but when you need it, it's nowhere.
Hello, ladies. We got Barbara is on, Melina, and Twyla. I've not seen Twyla. Good evening, Twyla.
Haven't we once? I don't know.
Have we? I don't know.
I lose track of it all.
I'm currently just attempting to finally finish the flannel pajama pants I started for last Christmas, maybe before this Christmas. This is my goal in life.
That's okay. I
Only be
mean,
1 year behind on the Christmas sewing.
that's that's pretty good in my opinion when it comes to Christmas sewing.
You can't see me. Is that any
Uh-oh.
better? Let me
I can
see.
see
Let me get,
you.
hang on. Let me skip this ad, and that might help. Hang on.
Are
Let
we
me see what we're
supposed
looking
to
at.
wait for the ad to go or something?
I can see myself
I I
on
can
the
see you
YouTube. Okay, we're good.
on the YouTube.
On the YouTube, I sound so hip and young, let me tell you.
On the YouTube.
Can't tell that I'm turning 40 next month.
Oh God, cringy.
Ah, I
That's
apparently she can see
painful
me
for
now. We're
you.
good. It is a little painful for me, yes.
Yeah.
It is just a little. My husband turned 45 yesterday, so I have the advantage of him always going before me
That's
on these
true.
things.
Yeah, his majors are
Like
more major.
significantly before me. So that's helpful.
That's great and funny. Poor
Yes.
guy.
You know, I outfitted an entire man cave for him for his
Yeah,
birthday,
you did. And it
like
looks great.
DIY style to save money. So I don't want to.
She's not
I think
going
he
into
did
a
pretty
flooring
good.
business.
No, definitely not. I sent Chantel my
You're just
flooring.
supposed to go like this and it's supposed to work.
Okay, so if any of you have ever considered doing your own garage floor coating, there's a reason they charge a lot of money for that because it takes some skill. It's like if someone is like, if I pay for the materials, will you make me a quilt? It's like, no, because there's like knowledge that comes with this. And so I watched a YouTube video and I thought I can do that. That's no big deal. And the guy in the YouTube video, I mean, the rolling it out, that's fine. It was not a big deal. But then if you're going to put flakes on, the guy in the video was like, just take them and throw them in the air and let them fall and it looks good. I did that. I had giant clump in
She's
one
like
section.
the
Giant
failed
clump.
flower girl.
Yes. And there is so much like flake all over this. And then I saw Chantel's, which is clearly done by a professional. And I was like, yeah, this is not how mine looks. Not
Well,
at all. I mean, it looks a million times better than it did with
oh
no
yeah,
coating. But,
absolutely. But
but don't hire me to do your floor coating.
uh,
Just hire me to learn how to quilt. That's my bread and butter
yeah,
there.
or use a cover stitch, which
You know that as soon as I figured out how to switch my whole machine around, I was fine with the cover stitch. But
see, I'd be the person that's like, I gotta have two different machines. It would just drive me
I
insane.
have a friend who does. She has two sergers. One is exclusively set up for cover stitch, and one is exclusively set up for serging.
Sergers are just such an animal when it
But
comes
they're
to,
like 3 grand. So I feel like for
oh,
an extra 3 grand, I can learn how to switch the stitches.
yeah, okay, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
See?
yeah, even I would be like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Maybe I don't need a cover stitch. That's what I'm thinking.
I am getting a text that I don't. Oh, no, it's from Gwendolyn.
I don't
Okay.
think she's gonna be here.
Gwendolyn may not be making it. She's got life happening at the moment, which is understandable. We had life happening last week. Do you want to talk about your life happening, and then I'll talk about my life happening?
Oh, I think your life happening was more entertaining than mine. Mine was basically a birthday party with lots of feral children. Um, yeah, we just kind of decided last week, all of a sudden, it was like, what are we doing? Like Stephanie was staying in a hotel with
with
the
two kids
girls.
by myself. And not only is that hard, but also I was a little concerned about safety
Well,
because like
yeah,
I do get recognized sometimes and I'm like I don't really need anyone knowing that like I'm alone in a strange city with my two girls by myself. This doesn't sound like the best decision to put
no.
out on the internet. So,
And I was trying to take my kids off the red dye 40 from the slushies at the trampoline place.
yeah,
So,
that'll be a hard one.
yeah, it was like detox children, let's get you to bed.
Well, and it was really good too. So my daughter performed in the Nutcracker. There is a professional ballet company in the Quad Cities. We are just big enough to be able to support something like that here in the Quad Cities.
Yeah, perfect
And so
size.
my daughter takes lessons at the school that's associated with the company. So this is her second year in the Nutcracker. She's a gingerbread this year. She's very excited. And that's why earlier in the previous live you saw me sewing a bunch of toy soldier costumes because that was my volunteer job for the year was to alter all the toy soldier costumes. And so she did great, but they misestimated the ending time so bad. Like I was supposed to be back in time to like do the live. I didn't get back until like 10 o'clock.
Oh, you
So
didn't?
yeah, it's really good. We didn't. I did not get any child in bed before 11 o'clock.
Oof.
And that's hard when you have a 4-year-old who
I,
wakes up
yeah,
like the same time. I can send her to bed at 10 o'clock. I can put her together at 8 o'clock. She's gonna wake up at the same time the next day. So that it was just a really long week. And when I got back
yeah.
on Sunday, like I immediately decided I have to clean out a closet because, I haven't been enough of a glutton for punishment.
Well,
Um,
that's always fun when you're gone.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go home and tackle that project. And then you go home and you start the project. You're like, this isn't as fun as I daydreamed it to be.
Well, it was fine, and I did complete my task. So that was good. But I had gotten a few things for the girls for going on the cruise, and because there was like a clearance center. And
Hmm.
so I for like $20, I was getting these like Gianni Beanie kids like fancy clothes.
Oh,
And
nice.
and then we got some Christmas stuff and I was like, I need a place for this to go because this is just it's nice stuff. I want to keep it nice. And they share a closet because they share a room. And so I got through all that, and then I immediately got a migraine. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna
Oh,
hide in the bedroom for the rest of the night and let my husband be the parent here. He can be primary parent now. I've done it for four
right.
days and 3 nights straight. I'm good. But I feel like when Nutcracker is over, I will have quit a part-time job
Oh, I think so.
because of all the
Yeah.
running. And you probably feel the same with the holiday party that you're
Oh,
hosting tomorrow.
yeah. So I'm hosting it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger holiday party for my husband's department at work. And I did it last year, but I had house cleaners and things like that last year. This year, my housekeeper sucks. It's me. I'm the
Yeah.
housekeeper.
I was gonna say
And
you're saying
um,
it about yourself here.
my housekeeper is terrible. It's me.
But so is
Uh,
mine. She's just
she's
awful. She never
awful.
does what she's supposed to do.
She's so distracted. She just ends up at a sewing machine every time. No, yeah, big party tomorrow. So it was supposed to be about 40 people. It looked like it was going to be about 50. Now it's looking like it's going to be about 60 people in my house.
Oh my gosh. Do you have enough food?
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
I think so.
Becky B, by the way, is asking if there's a way to turn off ads during the live. And let me tell you, we make enough money on ads to pay for Zoom. So I'm not going to turn off the ads. You're going to have to watch them.
I'm
We,
sorry.
we have been doing this basically for free for like 6 months, almost a year.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. We make enough money to pay for the Zoom subscription to do it. And that's about it. So
That's
so
because,
thank you for watching the ads. I appreciate it so much. Uh,
yeah, this is just a love project.
It is. We just
We do
enjoy
it to
it.
basically hide in our basement once a week. I'm not
Yes.
even doing anything right now because eventually I'm going to go off the live and like scrub my kitchen. Um, because I have like 60 people coming over tomorrow. And that is a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. We're having it catered for the most part. And then one of the other doctors dropped off the alcohol, and you would have thought we're like the entire student body was going to be here drinking tomorrow or something, because it was just the beer and seltzer drinks. And
Or
there
like,
must have
is
been
there like
like
an Uber or a party bus
18
or something?
cases. They, everybody is, they know what they're getting into. So, yes.
Somebody's got to be sober enough to drive home.
Yes, everybody knows what they're getting into, and I have lots of sofas, but hopefully it doesn't come down to that.
We
But
do, and they're
it's
comfortable.
I do have I have some really comfortable sofas.
I've slept
So
on a couple of them.
you have,
The basement one is my preferred one so far.
yeah, that one is great. That one is great. The
My
one
old,
on
almost 40-year-old hips did not handle the one in your
no. That one's
the
really
other one.
not great. It's a back sleeper
Yes.
style, not a side sleeper style sofa.
See, I'm getting a sleep study done because I might need a CPAP. Because
Oh,
when I sleep
really?
on my back, I snore like a freight train. Uh,
Awful.
I
But
know, right?
I hope you get that for your 40th birthday so
I
that,
know. It's
you
like,
know,
what more can
you
we
can get
do to
insoles for
make
your
me feel
shoes.
old? I could. I could. I
There are
definitely
lots
could
of
have used
things
that. Yes. The
because you
last time
needed those
Shed's,
the other time.
I did. The last time we were together, we were baking cookies, and my was that the most chaotic live we've
Oh,
ever done.
yeah, what did you guys think of that night? Because
I know.
holy moly.
I still have frosting on my computer, by the way.
Oh my
I
God.
can't get it
I
off.
don't know how to fix that. That's so awful.
I think it's hilarious. And
Oh
every
my
time I look at
God.
the corner of my computer, I see it and I laugh and I think it's funny. And
Oh my God. We were a mess. The half-baked baking show was not so great.
well, we
It
had been baking for like 14 hours
we
by
had
the time we
been
went
baking.
live. And
I didn't
then
know what I was doing,
I
clearly,
had been on
and
my feet for 3 days straight because it was the day after Thanksgiving that we did it. And so my feet were killing me. And, but I had fun.
oh, I had a great time doing all of it. And now I have to feed all these people these cookies tomorrow. So
Hopefully
hopefully
do
it
they
goes
still
well.
exist? Mine are all gone.
Oh yeah, I haven't eaten like any of them except for the pretzel ones.
Yeah,
Those were in a
those
clear
left
bag,
first.
so they were visible, thus they got
It got
taken
eaten.
care of.
I have to make more cookies now because my daughter's like, "Hey, we have a party at Ballet on Wednesday," and I was like, "We don't have enough cookies to send for your class. We're gonna have to make more." But
That's funny.
I think it is funny.
Oh man, because I mean, we
I
really made a
We made
lot
a
of
lot of
cookies.
I
I
don't know
have
how
a,
many we made,
I
but it
don't
was a
know.
lot.
I'm learning to make a charcuterie board, or AKA adult lunchable tomorrow.
Basically, fancy
Yeah,
adult lunch.
fancy adult lunchable tomorrow. So I am learning a whole bunch of skills this
You are.
season. So my friend Vanessa is coming over and she loves making these things, and I guess we're doing it. I was like, you're gonna have to talk me off my scared of the kitchen hill that I live on. Same thing that Stephanie had to do.
You don't have to know how to use anything in the kitchen to make a charcuterie board. You just have to
I
have a good
know.
eye for things.
I don't even
And
know
like
what to eat.
rolling meat. That's really all you need to know with the
Well,
charcuterie
it
board.
will be very beautiful, I'm sure, because she
Yes.
makes beautiful ones. And, you know, when she started talking balance and scale and things like that, I could pretend it wasn't about food. I calmed down a
Then
lot.
you're good, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But when I
You know
knew it was
that.
about food, it was giving me a lot of stress. So
No, it's just about,
she's like, just think of it
making
as
it look
like
pretty.
decorating. I'm like, okay, as long as you do the shopping, I'll pay for it. You do the shopping, I'll pay for it, and then we'll meet in the middle.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it was it's gonna be great, I think. And I'm
We
glad to
make
have
those
somebody
like at
come over
just
early.
for funsies at home.
Yes,
Like I
they
have
do
a lot of
too.
fun with it. Like I'll go to Aldi and I'll, get myself some fancy meats.
Yes,
And it
that's
is
what she
not
does.
the same like my parents live in an area where there's a large Italian community. And that is way more fun because you can get like the actual imported meats
Oh,
and that is pretty sweet. That's awesome.
I mean, in the area I live in, I feel like you can probably get 7 different types of bologna, you know,
Potentially.
potentially.
All right. So my idea of using a cover stitch on the elastic was not a good one. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Oh,
I thought maybe this will be okay. I was
maybe not.
very wrong.
He was very wrong. Not just a little wrong. It
Very
ate
wrong.
the elastic, didn't it?
No, it didn't eat the elastic, but I am going to need to unpick this seam in order to get it off of my machine. That's
Ooh.
how bad we're at. Not that it's bad. It's like 3/4 inch elastic. It'll be no big deal. But
Well, I messed up the timing on my sewing, my big long arm.
do you have any
And
idea how you did that?
yeah, I broke a needle.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Yeah, I busted a needle by accidentally hitting the edge of the frame. And
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, it was a needle. So I don't know how I'm going to figure it out. I've been trying to figure it out myself because I'm stubborn like that. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have
Even
to
though
bring
I
somebody
texted
in.
her the direct phone number of my baby lock guy,
I
where
know.
she could have just
I
called
know.
him directly.
Yeah, but are they going to come out here? Am I going to have to drag it in?
You probably have to, he might be able to talk you through it over the phone.
Okay, see
But
that's what I want.
yeah,
I'm savvy, but at the same time, like, and I understand the hook timing, like what it needs to be.
yeah.
I don't know how to do it on this machine.
I know, like anytime I call APQS, they FaceTime with you.
Well, yeah, they want you to be able to fix your machine. And actually,
Yeah,
I saw a video on how to fix your machine. It's a lot more accessible, the
yeah,
part that is needed.
yeah.
So, yeah, oh well.
I wonder if that's what's going on with mine. Every once in a while, I get like the top thread will like end up getting pulled down to the bottom, and it
Hmm.
doesn't like nest, but it just is like a lot of thread down there that's not supposed to be there.
Hmm.
And I can hear it every single time it does it, but it's very inconsistent.
Oh,
It's just every once in a while it feels like
is it when you go in a
being
certain
difficult.
direction?
No,
Hmm.
there's like no rhyme or reason to it. It just happens.
It just
So,
happens. It's like the clunk in your car that you don't pay attention to until all of a sudden it's a real
this is
problem.
another thing where like I have direct numbers to like people who can help me.
So do I. Her name's Stephanie, and she
Well,
gives me
no,
direct numbers to people
like
that can help me, and I still don't call them because
I have the
I'm a
direct
glutton.
number to the education coordinator at APQS. I could call and be fixed in like 2 seconds. It
Ugh,
would be no big deal. Have I done this? No.
no, no, of
Oh, goodness.
course not.
We're our own worst enemies, is what we are.
I know. I really want to figure it out. I even found the service manual online for my machine and was like reading through it. Yeah, it's not going to
Why
happen.
do it the easy way when you can make it
When
really
you can
challenging on
do it
yourself?
really challenging, and
Yes.
yeah, you're right. I guess I'm just concerned that when I call, they're going to be like, yeah, you're going to have to bring it in. And I'm going to be like, I guess I'm never using the long arm again.
I mean, you might, but it's not as god awful as it sounds.
It isn't.
No. To get a long arm off the machine,
Hmm.
it's not terrible.
Okay.
I had to
Well,
do it like 3 times in a month time span when we were getting this set up down here.
oh,
So that was not so fun.
yeah. I mean, we got it in here, and that's basically the only time it's ever been moved. So,
I mean, you don't have to like tear the frame apart. You just have to get it apart enough to be able to get it off the machine.
Hmm.
So that's really not the end of the world.
Yeah, that's true. It's still annoying though. And you
It
know how
is.
I
I will
am
give you
about
that.
going over the bunny hills so that I can do the mountains. It's always the little bunny hills that are the problem,
I
not the
understand.
mountain. It's the initiative to do it, the starting inertia. What are you doing
So
now? You're going to fix that
I'm
elastic?
I am gonna fix the elastic. If I can get my machine to go. There we go. I think I was hitting the wrong
I
presser
don't think
foot.
I have used a sewing machine other than the long arm for like less than 30 seconds before I broke it. In like 2 months.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I've
you have
been
been
working on
consumed by your
EPP.
EPP. How is that going?
Uh, well, so I am behind,
Well,
but
you knew you were going to be.
Free Spirit sent the wrong fabric for the next month. And so they've been trying to figure out a solution on what to do because they're
Hmm.
without their fabric to send everybody. And so Free Spirit was able to send them the stuff for month 7. We're coming up on month 5.
Yeah.
And but it was going to take a little bit to get there.
Hmm.
So now we're at the point where it has just gotten there and to still be boxed up and shipped. We're looking at the end of the month. So they think they might skip a month and give everybody time to like catch that up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is what I need. I need January, like when there's
There you
nothing,
go.
so that I can catch up and actually be in line with
Feel like
everybody.
you've done
So
it. Yeah.
they're like, do you guys want us to just, let it go? And the 4 people that are actually on schedule are like, oh no. We're like, everyone else is like Team Turtle.
It's all good.
So that's that project. I have some of it here. It's looking pretty good. It's coming along. Here's this one.
Ooh. Your camera
Ooh.
like zoomed in
I
appropriately
know
at the
it's
right
like
moment.
appropriate. And I'm working. There's those bunnies that I was stressed about. They
So
worked out.
the parts that don't have something, does something else like fit
Hmm.
in there eventually? That's
Yeah.
cool. That is so much thought and effort that went into that. Oh, you know what? I got the wrong. See, I got two presser feet going on below me, and I'm gonna cause problems. I can tell you that
You're starting one and not the other.
pretty much. My machine's beeping at me like, "What do you think you're doing?"
Yeah, that's okay. I need one of those in life that's beeping at me like, hey, what are you doing?
My bank account just told me. Oh no, that was from like several hours ago. Oh
Nice.
my gosh. So, in addition to having Nutcracker craziness, like my daughter has had how many shows last night? Last week there was a tech rehearsal, a dress rehearsal, and 2 shows. And this week there was a tech rehearsal and 4 shows in 3 days. And it's just a lot. And I'm of course the chauffeur because she's 10, she can't get herself anywhere. And then in the middle of all this, my dryer broke, and so we got to check
Oh
out.
yeah,
And he
the
goes,
dryer.
"Ma'am, can you come down here?" Meanwhile, mind you, we hired this guy because he has a basset hound on his uh Google business profile. We've had them out
What
before. They did
guaranteed?
good work. But anyway, so this is our main qualification to hire him. He goes, "Ma'am, you've had a fire." And I'm like, "We had a what?" Because like we were all home when the dryer broke. Like nobody noticed anything. It just stopped going. It would turn on, but it wouldn't like do anything. And he's like, yeah, it had a fire. So long story short, like the lint trap was like missing a piece from day one. And so like lint and dog hair would get inside the machine. And apparently our machine, if you have a machine in a basement, it is better to have a dryer that has the lint trap on top instead of the lint trap in the door
It makes sense.
because
The
it
distance
has
that it has
further
to
to
go.
go. And so the combination of those two things meant that there was a obscene amount of dog hair and lint in the bottom of my machine and ended up catching fire. And thankfully it was all contained to within the dryer because there's so much crap in my basement. Like this is all in my basement. So if it would have caught fire, like it would have been devastating. But like all my paper patterns are like not that far away from the dryer.
Oh
That would have all
God.
been gone. So we were really lucky. So I called my husband out and I was like, just so you know, we're lucky, but we have to buy a new dryer.
Like we're
That's
alive and our stuff is still here,
Yes, we're
but
okay. Everything's gonna be okay, but
oh my
we
God.
have to spend a lot of money we weren't planning on. So,
Are
so
you
now
on
I have a new
YouTube for the
dryer.
comments?
I
I
am on
have,
YouTube for the comments. There was quite the discussion about YouTube
oh,
ads for a little while, and they like your what do you call it? Your block.
E oh my EPP.
Yeah, your buddies are cute.
The bunnies turned out good. I'm happy that they turned out the way they did.
Yes. Well, you were on when you were deciding what you wanted to do with
Yeah,
that.
I was not in a good mood about those bunnies because it was supposed to be a little bit different, but it ended up having a good pattern, so I'm pretty pleased with it. I
I
stressed myself out for nothing.
have a
Go figure.
waist of Pokemon pajama pants.
Yay!
And you're not going to be able to tell. I wouldn't be able to show you if it came together. I don't even think you'll be able to tell. I did not come together at all on that scene, but you cannot tell like in the least
It's
amount.
black on black. You're fine.
Yeah, like no one's gonna know. So my daughter will be happy to have these in the morning. She gets cold and nothing ever fits her. She's outgrown her pants again. She's very skinny. Very, very skinny. She takes after her father,
But has height.
but has height. So now she's grown out of her pants again. We got our pants that fit at the end of the school year, obviously, and now they're too short. Everything's wadding up. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to take that course on how to make trousers.
We need to take the trouser course.
I need to do it. I took this. I'm not sure if anyone has ever heard of the website Domestika. They have Spanish language courses as well as English courses. And I signed up and like did the introduction for how to make your own trouser pattern to perfectly fit your body. And I signed up specifically for her because I don't really want to know what my
I don't
measurements are.
trouser.
Like I mean I trouser, but I don't want to know what the measurement. I don't want to get that up close and personal with my own figure. Hers,
Her
you
thin,
know,
tall
it's fine.
figure, fine.
I just need to get her pants that will fit for school. Like this is all my only goal in life here. Like make sure she has clothes that fit for school. But
That's funny.
but
Yeah, you
yeah,
need to take that
I
class.
definitely need to
That's
take
like a
it. It's
January,
time.
February thing.
Maybe, I don't know. Definitely when Nutcracker's over.
I'm going to switch off my camera for a few minutes. I'm going to run and get something. Oh, I thought I had changed my thing so it would look like a person.
Oh, that's okay.
I thought I had it. Womp. I
It's all
changed it
good.
earlier. But I'm still here. I just have to wander off for a second. And I really do have to clean this house because it's not even like cleaning, really. It's the decluttering and taking care of the boxes and stuff that live outside my sewing room.
I sent you this video. I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet. It was like Home Alone if you're
Oh,
visiting
Mom
Mom
Alone.
Alone.
Yeah,
And
I didn't get to
like,
watch it, but
so it's
it's on
hilarious.
my list there.
So basically, the mom is asleep in her bed, and the Marv and what was the other guy's name? I don't
Uh,
remember. The two guys who are trying to break
Harry?
in Home
No.
Alone, yes. And
Is it?
then they end up encountering all these traps that aren't really traps. They're just like life with small children. And one of the initial issues is they just like trip over a million boxes at the front of the door that are just sitting there. And like I feel like that's my life right now. Like I went through and like dealt with that finally because it's just it's easier to order a gift than it is to go buy it at the store for me. And so that's kind of where I'm at in my life. And so it had just built up and I finally like dealt with it and got it all where it needed to be. But I mean, I just feel
That's,
like
yeah.
Hey, we can see Chantel's pretty picture now.
Okay. Did I get it? Good.
Yeah, we can see your picture. But,
I figure,
but
see,
yeah,
I'm emotionally with you here. I just have to wander about. I got to scrub my bathroom, and I don't think anybody wants to see that.
I did that today only because my
Ooh.
parents were coming.
I
They
mean, isn't
appreciate a
that
clean
why we do
bathroom.
things like that? Is because people are coming?
Other
Because,
people are coming to your house?
yes, it depends. If it's Stephanie, I'll give it a light scrub. But if it's,
Yeah, you don't need to
like
ever do that for me.
people are coming over, like people I don't know the names of.
I'm like constantly and like because here's the problem when you have kids. And like I don't know how my mother did it, but mom alone. It was just a video on Facebook that I saw. It was really funny.
At least somebody
But
content created it.
yes, it was really funny. But at first I thought it was going to be like mom's like alone by herself and she gets interrupted and oh my God, that's a nightmare.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's what I thought it was going to be too.
I know it's immediately what I thought. But anyway, um I what was I even talking about? I don't know.
I don't know, mom alone. But
Oh,
before
just
that,
kids. So like kids, I feel like are just like a constant tornado. Like you can have a clean house and then, they change clothes and there's just stuff
and
everywhere.
there's pants with underwear wrapped into them forever, and
And
socks
socks
that are
and
inside out.
socks. Yep, the socks and I don't know how they do it, but they can manage to take off the socks and the underpants and the leggings all in one go and they're all together.
And they are
And
together forever.
yep, and then you got to figure that out.
Sorry, I'm moving Legos around. I should probably put you guys in this living room area so you guys can see me.
You can totally be on. We can see right now. I'm
What's up?
feeling so accomplished.
You
By the
should
way, for
be.
for anybody who's joining late, I'm attempting to finish a Christmas project that I started last Christmas. I
Last Christmas,
I made pajama
I cut
pants
out the parts.
for like my family. And like they're not going to fit much longer because like we're getting to the point where the height isn't going to be there. Like I got to get this done. So I'm trying to actually finish these things. And I think I have a shot. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe if it doesn't take me 10 hours to thread
Oops.
everything.
There goes the Legos.
But I almost have a Pokemon pajama pant done. I'm feeling very accomplished right now.
What is Lily getting?
Lily also has lots of pajama pants. Um, there are there's space ones, there's baking cookie ones, which I totally messed up the directionality of the fabric on, so everything's upside down.
It's
Uh,
okay. When she looks
but you
at
know
it,
what,
it'll be
whatever.
right.
No, but they're like matching for all three of us. Like I had visions of us all making
Oh,
cookies in
well,
these.
everybody's gonna look at their own pants then.
I know, right? So it'll be right when you look down at yourself.
You
But
can take one of those pictures, like the hot dog leg pictures, like
there
looking
you
at your
go.
pants, like towards the Christmas tree, and then everybody will have matching pants since directionality is correct for the picture.
That could work.
I'm here for you.
It's all good.
I've got your back.
You're gonna make it look like I did it intentionally and not like I messed it up, is what's
Yeah,
gonna
that's the
happen.
point. It's a design choice.
But
It was for the photo.
but yeah, I mean this is not bad to do now that it took me like 30 minutes to rethread my machine for a cover stitch, just because it's not something I do every day. And I had to remember all the steps. And there were a lot of steps.
There were a lot of steps.
A lot of
Yeah.
steps. But
I seriously avoid my serger because I've never quite gotten it to its perfect settings. It's not a very expensive one, to be fair. It's I have one because I have hopes of using one eventually and getting into it.
you
But
know, if you just use it to do your overlocking stitch, like wouldn't have to do the cover stitch at this point. I could just take this to my regular machine and do it. Um, I'm doing it as a cover stitch because I want to get more comfortable with it.
Well, yeah, I just meant in general with surging. Like I'm
Yeah.
not very comfortable with the whole business of it.
Yeah.
And that, because I don't know if it's me or my machine. Because again, I like bought my machine on Amazon. Like it was and then I bought a secondhand one that's like ancient,
Hmm.
but definitely a sturdier machine. Just
So
very old.
you cloth diaper too, but I cloth
Hmm.
diapered and made all the components to the diaper for like the
That's
first
amazing.
4 months of Angela's life. See, I made everything before I had babimes
Oh, that's the
when I
key.
had time. And
I should
then
have
like
cleaned my house then.
I know, right?
What was I thinking?
Oh, Becky says she finished a Christmas quilt top in November 2023 and thought she maybe might possibly not finish by Christmas and all it needs is binding.
I feel that.
I
I
know,
feel that
right?
to my soul. We
I have
both
a
have Christmas quilts
yes,
on I don't know what you would call it. They're like on deck. They're not even on deck. They're
they're
they're not
ready.
they're not
Mine is
waiting to get
ready.
done.
Mine just really just needs to be quilted, but I want to do like fancy stuff and I just it didn't have it in me this year. So, I don't
That's
know.
the problem with all my quilt tops. I have big dreams and hopes for them, and then I go and hit the machine wrong when I finally get the hope up and dreams up to the point where I'm like, nope, I'm going to do it. I'm going
I'm
to
gonna
get
do it
something
today.
on there. And then I messed it up.
It's okay. It happens.
I've never had that machine serviced. So truthfully, it probably needs to go
It
in and be
probably could
lubed and
use
stuff.
it. That
It
sounded
probably needs
dirty.
to go to the spa.
That sounds better.
I,
Oh goodness. So I have my grandmother's dog. We've talked about this before. He
Remy.
remembers he remembers my parents because, they would be there all the time, helping my grandparents with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always like, Beth and John are coming and he gets really excited because he knows who they are. And and so they have like concern about him too because, it's grandma's dog. It's their mom's dog. And so right now he really needs to be groomed. He is like the fluffiest he maybe has ever been in his life. And he was licking his paws, and my dad's like, "What does that redness come from?" I'm like, "I am pretty sure that is dog food." Because he's like so
Oh, and that
like
happens. I have
he's
multiple
so
dogs that
brown.
lick.
Yep. He's so brown by his feet, but it doesn't go all the way to his like skin. So it's not like an injury. It's I'm pretty sure it's just dog food. He's like licked his paws after he's been done, and he just desperately needs a groom. But ooh,
Yeah,
hang on. I think we're done here.
ooh,
We have pajama pants.
yay!
I'm
One
feeling
pair
so
down,
accomplished. One pair
13 pairs to
down.
go.
I mean, that might be accurate, actually. It's a lot
Whew.
of pairs, but I can do one more with the black thread before I have to go figure out how to change it all.
Yeah, I always just tie the threads at the top and then pull them all the way through.
I think I can do that with, I don't think I can do it with the one that goes through like the air threader.
Oh, probably not. That's probably why there's an air threader.
Yeah. I can probably do it with the chain. It isn't it now that I have everything set up, it really isn't going to be bad at all. It was just going to be like a
Well,
mess
yeah,
until then.
it's the emotional bunny hill, like I said earlier. You
I
just
know,
got to get
right?
over the doing it once, and then you're like, oh, that wasn't bad.
Yeah,
And then it's fresh in your brain and not 10 years old.
maybe. Well, back to cloth diapering and like an old serger. So I borrowed my neighbor's serger to do that, and it would come unthreaded like constantly, like
Oh,
so all the time, and it was such a pain. And I can tell a huge difference between like that one, which was, pretty old, and getting this one, which was used and not the latest version. Because I wasn't going to pay 3 grand for a serger either. I was going to get one on sale and
right,
pre-loved.
right. We're good
You know,
Midwest people. We're going to do
we
what we have
are.
to do.
We can't pay full price. That's
No,
not,
no,
we
you got
can't
to
do
get a
that.
deal and tell everyone about it.
Exactly.
So,
But But yeah, I got like a million feet with this though. So I gotta make time to like play and learn.
Yeah, that is the problem is the time. We
Yeah,
should have done it before we had kids. Time.
something. I don't know.
By the time we have time, we'll be too tired.
I was telling my husband that I felt like really stuck because how do you put elastic in the waist so it doesn't roll? I make the elastic so that it is just like a little bit skinnier than the area that it has to live in, and then there are less chances that it will roll. Um, that's
And
what I
if
do
you
with
leave
that.
it too big, or then if you make it too small,
What do you mean?
like the pocket, do you mean you said you make it just a little bit too big?
So
Do you
the
mean then,
area that the elastic waistband, like the pocket area that it's going to go
yeah,
in, is just like maybe not even a quarter inch larger than the width of the elastic.
okay. So it's
That's what
just
I do.
really close in measurement.
And it might still, you know, get a little funky, but it'll still at least all be facing the same direction, so you would be able to like feel and move it around and manipulate it if you
That
had to.
makes sense.
But um, but yeah, I was telling like I feel like stuck because his hours, like he doesn't control when he gets off at all ever. And so I am always doing pickup and then everything after that until whenever he gets home, which is varies wildly.
It's just
And
whenever.
yeah. And so it's like I don't know. Like I want to at some point have like a regular job again, but it's really like hard
It's
to
almost
envision that
impossible
at this
because when
moment.
you
Yeah.
have kids, your your everyday might be a little different and you never know when you're going to have a sick kid all of a sudden
Well, that
or
I
you have
think people
different
understand,
activities.
but it's more
And
like it would need to be a job that paid a certain pay rate to afford for me to send them to aftercare. Because what people don't understand is for someone to watch my two kids between the hours of 3 o'clock and 5:30 is $600 a month. That's
yeesh.
outrageous. Outrageous. But I think that that's the going rate. Like, I don't think that that's like considered unreasonable. It just is the way it is. And so, you just have to accept that as like a cost of doing business, I guess, and be able to cover it. And so, I wouldn't be able to just get like any marketing job. It would have to be one that was like significant enough to be worth
Right.
it.
That that makes sense.
But
For me, it's just the flexibility is primary to be able
yeah,
to with three of them at different
oh
ages
no.
and oh
I think it'll be easier for you once they're all in school.
yeah, I agree. I don't know what I'll do with myself. Probably panic.
You'll figure out a routine,
I
something.
hope so. Or I'll panic.
What did
That's
I
an
do?
option too.
I did something wrong. I think I got my thread tails caught. Nope. What's going on here?
I do not know.
I do not know.
What's the pattern now? And do you
Uh,
have a pattern for this
this
that you
one,
really like?
I do. I have no idea where it is at the moment. It's just a really simple pants pattern. It's like two pieces basically that you put together. And this one is just stars. And I think they might glow in the dark. It's been a long time since I bought the fabric, so I couldn't tell you. But um I have saved the scraps though, because you have a lot of really large scraps when you do flannel pajama pants. And I um I thought it would be fun to do like a scrap quilt of like all the flannel pajama pants I make over the years at some point. Because I of course was assuming that I'm gonna do this every year
You're like,
when I
maybe it's
started
every
this.
other year. I cut
I mean,
them one year, I make them the next year.
Or maybe I don't try to go insane. Maybe I do like one family set a year. Like maybe that is like my future.
That seems like maybe a good
That seems
idea.
more
Yeah.
reasonable, I think, than like I'm gonna outfit my
All the
entire
pants.
family
Yeah.
in all the pants. Yes,
Me made pants for everyone.
for everybody. It sounded like a great idea at the time.
It is a
I
great idea. It's just not realistic.
I also have a pattern for a nightgown because Lily prefers a nightgown, but that has absolutely no chance of happening right now.
That
There's
seems okay.
no way am I gonna get that accomplished. But
Well, I mean, that's all right. At least if you get some of it off the long arm, because I know it's been there.
well, it's not on the long arm. It has its own bin now.
Oh, it's upgraded.
It is, but I would like it out of my sewing room. I would feel far more confident if I could just like get it out of the sewing room and in onto butts,
Onto butts.
onto
Yes.
butts.
Hopefully your family's butts. Then that'll be good.
Yes. I mean, that is the
Did you
goal.
make dog jammies? Have you ever considered doing that?
Given the fact that it's like a year's turnaround time
I
for
mean,
the
the dogs
child
don't change
jammies,
size.
this is true. Jelly Roll, I think, gains a little every year.
Every year. Me too, Jelly Roll.
She's aptly named.
She is.
Oh goodness, that dog. I love her, but man, she's rotund.
She is rotund. That is the appropriate verbiage for that for
This
sure.
is this is a
Rotund.
75-pound basset hound. For anybody viewing at home.
I mean,
She
you have
she's
hot
very
dogs,
large.
you have, and then you have
She's
bratwurst.
a yeah, she's a
She's a
bratwurst.
bratwurst.
She's
Like,
definitely a bratwurst. No questions. Oh goodness. We
she's
love her.
cute.
We love her dearly.
And her bark.
Oh gosh, that dog, if she thinks she should be getting some attention and you are not giving her attention, she lets you know that, you gotta be petting me. It's not gonna work. Oh, I know why I lost thread now. I sewed a pin into my
Oh,
machine. How the hell I
whoa.
didn't break a needle on that?
Yeah.
Like it literally sewed through. I probably should change my needles now. I don't even know how I'm gonna get this out.
Whoopsie.
I guess I'm gonna have to pick it out. That's very impressive. I'm gonna show you one more time. I mean,
Yeah.
my
Show
goodness
me real
gracious.
quick. I'm coming to
Look
find your
at this.
picture. Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh. Yeah, take a picture of that one and post
my
that on
child
Instagram.
would have never ever like forgiven
Forgave you.
me if I would have given her that looking like that.
Oh my God.
She
Because
would never have
like the
trusted
kid would have
me.
found the pin.
She would have never trusted me again after that.
I mean, yeah,
Never ever.
clearly, like
Oh
that
my
was
goodness.
that's impressive.
Well, last year, so I know the person who does the alterations because she's a highly talented quilter who I've known for years through the local guild, um, for Nutcracker. And last year there were some pins left in the costumes. And so my daughter goes, she's not very good. She left pins in. And I'm like, Angela, you don't understand. She's like one of the
The
most
best.
talented people I've ever met. She's really good. Like it was clearly an oversight. She's just fine. But
Oh, I mean, we all lose pins and stuff like that, and
yeah,
clearly we all, sew into it, break a needle every once in a while, and
yep,
it happens.
it does.
It's annoying though,
It
because it's
is.
usually
It
because you're
messes
not
with
paying
your flow,
attention.
right?
Well, I sewed through my finger, and you know, I just made a stupid decision in that moment. Like, oh, I can get that thread before that needle comes back down. At least I didn't say all those words in my head, but clearly that's what I thought I could handle.
And
That
it was
idea.
not. It was
And it
not.
was not. And then I just pulled the needle out because it was like, I got to make a decision.
Gotta do
Just
something
yanked
here.
it out.
Oh goodness. The things we do as quilters. Have
Oh
you
my gosh, I
joined
know.
the club of people who have sliced off body parts with the rotary cutter?
I mean, I've had a bit of a slice. I have some knife cuts in general just from that. But no, I'm very like careful. That one grosses me out a lot. The needle through the hand is not great either, but ugh,
So
cutting off
I
your
had a
hand.
I had a friend who like took off like part of the tip of her finger. She
Ugh.
brought it with to the emergency room and they're like, we can't do anything with this. Like,
Oh my
thanks, but
gosh.
no
Well,
thanks.
you never know. Like if it's enough, they might have to, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she just had to
Seems like the
wait
right answer to
and
me.
let it grow back.
You know, you know.
Why are you being so difficult tonight? Um, but yeah, there was nothing they could do for her. And then one time, oh, it's so funny. I thought it was really funny. My husband, not so much. But he was cutting something and he got himself with a rotary cutter. And I was like, and it was like cutting it for like to sell. And I was like, how's the fabric? And he goes, I'm fine. And I'm like, you'll heal. We can't sell bloody fabric. Like,
You better be
uh,
fine. You have work to do. And or the time he accidentally stapled himself.
oh, that was so good. I knew exactly what he'd done. Does anyone else have husbands who like do really predictable dumb stuff every once in a while?
Like you just know it's gonna happen because they're yeah.
Yeah. So my husband was working out in the garage and I think I'd asked him to get me the staple gun. And all of a sudden I hear him just yell, ah! Like it was probably a swear word or something. But
And a chicha.
I knew exactly what he had done before he came in and told me about it. I knew he had for sure staple gunned himself somehow, some way. And this is like I was pregnant with Lily. So he would have been 40 at the time. This is not a young man thing that he did. He wanted to see how far the staple gun would shoot. So he like pulled up the
The
thing and like
answer is
had
as
it in the
far as your
garage,
hand.
but he had it backwards, and so he staple gunned right into the meat of his thumb.
Oof,
And
oof.
we're in the bathroom, and I knew it had probably been a hot minute since
Oh
he'd had
no.
a tetanus shot, and he also had like a poison ivy thing going on from our backyard. And I was like, you have to go to urgent care. And you need to tell them that you just are not having a good time.
You're
We're just
having
both
a rough time, man.
we are dying laughing in the bathroom as I'm pulling this thing out of his hand because it was just like the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest thing. And we both knew it. And oh goodness.
I mean, these are the kind of mistakes we make in sewing and stuff too. So, you can't
Absolutely.
like you can't
I
I mean,
know.
I have a cousin that doesn't have part of a finger from a lawnmower kind of thing and you know, fun stuff happens.
Oh, Becky says she's never cut herself, but she cries every time she drops the cutter right after she puts one of the new expensive titanium blades in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would.
that would not
Yeah.
be good. It was a good thing it didn't go in the eye. That is true. Or
Shoot your
any
eye
other
out.
part of his body. Oh
Personal
goodness.
favorite movie. Shoot your
It
eye
is your
out.
favorite one.
I love that movie.
You have the lamp.
I have the lamp. I have a cardboard cutout of the lamp downstairs because, well, I have one,
You gotta
right?
have two.
Gotta have two. It's a major award.
I don't know if I'm getting older or if sergers are just harder to thread than sewing machines.
Well, they are harder to thread than sewing machines, but
Like just to
I
get
find
the,
the angle is really bad.
yeah, it's not staying threaded very well today. And I don't know if that's a me thing or a serger thing.
Oof,
Could be
I'm
either.
not the one to ask. Not even close. So I'm glad I'm not like visually on the live. I am now in my bathroom cleaning. Good fun.
Yeah. I have a
Oh
giant pile of dirty towels because I can't wash anything right now.
yeah,
It's no good.
that actually tracks. Well, didn't you recently just like give up? You went to the laundromat.
This
Now,
was
what would have happened to your dryer?
this is what preceded the dryer. So I had my husband is in charge of the laundry, and that's his domestic task. But every 2, 3 months, I end up having to bail him out because there's like 20 loads of laundry to do.
I feel this.
Because he's like done what is needed for the kids, what is needed for him, and I sometimes end up with clean underwear and sometimes not. And like that's just how it goes. And I work from home. I spend the majority of my days in various forms of pajamas. It's not a big deal. And so anyway, I'm messing with this stuff and I ended up with like 3 contractor days worth of laundry. And so I'm starting to do the laundry, and that it was on load 1 that the dryer broke. So I ended up having to go to the laundromat and just deal with everything. But the towels were not part of the everything. All
Yeah.
right, so we have
Well,
a question from Jam. Would it be easier to use the serger looking section of the sewing machine? The answer is that it is not at all comparable to what this can do. I have a pair of pajama pants that we did for a video tutorial that we use that function on the sewing machine, and it looks really rough after a wash, whereas this is going to stay looking nice and neat. So you get much better results if you use an actual serger. Plus, I like learning new things. And so right now my challenge is learning this machine and how to use it really well.
but
But
that said, if you wanted to make yourself pajama pants,
you
and
could do it.
you could definitely use a sewing machine for all of it. It's just not, you're going to want to use your pinking shears when you're cutting stuff. And
Especially with flannel. I mean, it looks rough, really
yeah,
rough on those seams because you're not going to use French seams with flannel. Um, this doesn't work very well.
that makes sense.
Candace says she tripped over her son's large dino transformer on the way down, hit her shoulder on a ladder to a bunk bed, busted her forehead on the window frame. A few
Oh my
more inches, her
gosh.
head would have gone through the window. Did you do that this week? Oh my gosh.
Or is
That
this
is
mom's
like,
alone
I know.
level?
I mean, that does sound exactly what happened in that social media video I saw because there were Hot Wheels on the floor that were just lived there, because
They
you have
just,
random toys
they're there
and
to
you step on
murder.
them. My basement has all manner of Barbie shoes all over the place. And so you step on those wrong, and that's not a fun
It's
experience.
crying worthy for
Oh my
sure.
gosh, that sounds awful. Don't want that in the Christmas photos.
Oof. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Oops, I overfilled the soap container. It wants to go everywhere. God, I'm not necessarily. My house
Where did I see that
sucks.
video? I saw it on Facebook. Just search up Mom Alone and search up. That's what my daughter says. I'm using Gen Alpha terms. Where did this come from?
Search up.
Hang on. I sent it to Chantel, so maybe I can get the link.
Oh yeah, you did send it to me.
I have to figure out where I sent it to you.
It was in Facebook.
I found it. I'm
If
sending
you
it
can remember
to
that.
copy link. It was really funny. Like the thieves just got thwarted just by going through like
Normal everyday
normal
having
kid
kids
clutter,
stuff.
basically. Normal kid clutter just did them in. It was really funny. Oh, anybody with normal kid clutter would totally get it. It happened about 8 years ago. I only step on Legos now. Those do hurt.
Oof. I wear shoes everywhere because there's so many Legos in my house. I just
I bought
can't.
Adam, they're slippers, but they're basically shoes.
House
And
shoes. That's what my grandmother called them.
yeah, I mean, they are because he constantly is wearing his shoes in the house. It's driving me nuts. All right, I just put the Mom Alone link in the Facebook feed. You guys can all go watch it. Um, it drives me nuts because like I finally get something clean and then he's like stomps through and I get footprints everywhere.
Ugh. He's like
Like,
the
come
naughtiest dog.
on. Well, I feel like I have a teenage son sometimes instead of
Yeah.
a husband. And so I was
I
trying to
call mine a
explain this to
husband child.
him. I'm trying to explain it to him. Like, like I love you, but my
However,
gosh, like you quit making me go like 2 steps forward, 1 step back every time you go through a room. Like
yeah,
this is
that's
this is
like a
not what I'm looking for in my life at this moment. Oh goodness. But I don't know. I uh I asked my mom for advice about this because it's all like the little things, right? Like he knows that I would like him to shut the shower curtain when he's done showering
oh my
then
God, what is up
like
with guys and
because then
that?
like the mildew doesn't accumulate on the shower curtain. Or like if there's like one spot in our bathroom where you can put the soap and it won't leave a soap ring, and then everything else has to go on like the standing thing that goes over the shower head.
Hmm.
And then it just stays cleaner, and I don't have to spend an hour with soft scrub trying to get everything looking decent. And does he ever do any of that? No, I have to get in the
No.
shower and I have to move everything back where it belongs and shut the shower door and all that stuff. Like or like his mom came over after Thanksgiving and I had um everything was super clean when I went to bed. And then he had a feast
Oh
and
no.
didn't clean it up. And so
God.
and then he made himself an omelet the next morning and didn't clean it up. And so then his mom, who's like super like tidy, comes in and I'm like, I'm sorry, it was really clean. I went to bed
It
and
was.
like I'm not lying, it really was.
It
It
was
isn't
your
now.
kid.
He did it. I'm sorry. But
That's funny.
and it's not like I wasn't doing anything too. Like that was like our big like man cave organization day and I was hauling every single
So
tool
this
in
is
our
like
house.
super recent. This
Yeah,
isn't
this is
like
super
he
recent.
used to do this. It's like, no,
No, this was like a
this is
week and a
like the
half
other
ago.
day.
Yeah. And then not long after that was the whole laundry debacle. So there's been some discussions about workload in our
Oh
house.
no.
And he's like, I've just been working a lot. I'm like, I found socks in the laundry that I know I last wore in September. Like,
Ooh,
this is not like something that you
right.
can just say I've been busy. I haven't gotten
Recently.
to it. Like, you've been busy like the last like 2 weeks. This
We're
is
all busy.
this is not something we can say. But anyway, I don't know. Men are a different breed. Well, not all men. Like I know very
No,
tidy
our
men.
men.
Yes.
Our men.
My father-in-law, my dad, super tidy. They're done with something, it goes back in its position. Nobody
Yeah,
has to pick
that's
up
not
after their
me.
random crap. Well, it's not me either, but I do a more consistent
I
job of it.
try, you know. I just am naturally very creatively bound. I get excited about something and I forget what I'm doing. And the next thing I know, there's craft supplies everywhere.
Well,
Pretty much every time.
yeah. I think a workspace is different than
Oh no, no,
like,
no. I just mean in general. I don't
yeah.
know how it happens. Like every time I'm supposed to be doing something else, I find a craft all of a sudden that, or a fun household project, like I don't know, like hanging pictures or choosing decor or
Do you want to
shopping
do you
for
want to
decor.
come on real quick and show your craft project from the week?
Oh
Or
my, oh that one.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, give me a few minutes. I'm like hands deep into the sink here. It's going to be so tidy.
Chantel had a pretty epic transformation of an Aldi find.
I did.
It's really good.
Thank you.
It's
That I've made a lot of things this year to be proud of, but this one in particular is a it's a crowd pleaser,
it is a crowd pleaser. It's gonna
and it is
be
not sewing.
nope, but it's gonna be perfect at your holiday party.
It is, and so I bought this sign that is supposed. It was the snowman on one side, and then on the other side, it's Santa Claus, and it's tall and thin, and I can't find my phone right now, naturally. Um,
So this is
so
something that you find in the Aldi aisle of shame. And if you don't know what the Aldi aisle of shame is, it's the aisle of random stuff that you didn't know you needed until you find it at Aldi in that aisle. And I'd found something to do with this. And I sent it to her because I thought it was right up her alley. And you had already seen it once. And so that was kind of your impetus to be like, okay,
yes,
this is the universe's way of saying I need to make one of these for
so
myself.
I was we decided to paint the snowman. Here he is in his process. And here's our snowman. And if you're completely confused, it's because you have no idea who that is. That is Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh from
He loves
South Park.
you, or what is it? He loves me and I love you, or something like that. There's a
Yeah.
whole song.
And yeah. And Heidi Ho. So
I was
that
not allowed to watch South Park growing up.
me neither, but
Not at
I
all.
did a
But
little
I knew
later
the
on.
lore.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and he was very famous, and so that's our paint job we did to. Oh, here's kind of the beginning. There's my friend Vanessa, and then he was a snowman before, but from the from the road, because I have him on my like next to my tree by the window. From the road, it's still Santa Claus.
So it looks nice from you
Yeah,
look like a normal family from the outside.
right. And then you come inside, and yeah, I know.
I love it.
Yeah,
Oh goodness.
it turned out
Oh,
pretty good.
it did. You
Yeah,
did real good with that.
John was more impressed with that than I think
Anything
most
you
of my
made.
quilting projects I've ever had.
Oh
He
goodness.
was pretty stoked with the
Mr.
Christmas poo.
Hanky.
I have a shared custody though because I made it with my buddy, and so
You
we
could
couldn't
only
find.
find
We
one
could
of
only
them.
find one because they got kind of famous on the internet, and everybody bought them all. So there's lots of these going around. It wasn't
Yes.
my personal idea, you know.
But Chantel has a very eclectic taste when it comes to decor. And
Explain what you told your had to explain to
oh,
Angela.
so we have a Dickens village at my house that was my grandmother's. And when we were at Chantel's house, she had
I
a
have a village too.
Dickens-esque village, but it had like Aldi in it.
It has an Aldi
Oh,
store
yeah,
in
it's the
my
Aldi
village.
store. And she's like, "Why would you buy this?" And I was like, "If Chantel sees something that looks like not everybody's gonna have it, like she's gotta have it."
I I have a whole bathroom of fancy animals that I am like
Yes.
scrubbing up right now.
And
And I
there is a fake dog turd that lives in
yes,
there.
I just placed that in there as
Uh,
well. So, it's ready for the party. The
the
fake poo
first,
was a big hit last year. We had a number of people on the floor taking pictures with the poo.
but it is
So,
it is a permanent fixture in that bathroom. It is a permanent part of the decor, and
mhm.
that is Chantel. And
That's just how it. I love anything funny.
yeah,
If it's funny or unique or quirky and things like that, I mean, if it can make you smile, it's got to be here.
the first
So
time I was at Chantel's house and I was using that restroom, I looked at that, and she has dogs, and I have dogs, and I was like, "Do one of their dogs poop in the bathroom?" And I'm looking at it and I'm inspecting it, and I ultimately decided that it was too perfectly shaped to be
it
a
is.
real.
You're
And
right.
so I just like nudged it with my toe, like 95% certain it wasn't going to be squishy. It, and then was pleasantly surprised that
But it was not a real poop on the
yes, it
floor.
was not a real
Yeah, we
poop.
love our prank poo.
But
It is a permanent fixture of our household. So, sometimes it moves. It's not always in the bathroom. Although
it's
now my
funny.
kids have so we have two little dogs and two big dogs. And we have one of those American Girl doll ice cream trucks or whatever, and it came with these ice cream scoops. And there's one that's chocolate, and when it
Oh
is
no.
on the ground,
It doesn't look like
you can not tell it from shit. Like it is the most like disturbing moment when you walk in a room and you see that and you're just like, oh man.
I
And
had
then you
a
go to get a
moment.
towel and you come in and you're like, oh, it's the American Girl doll ice cream scoop of double chocolate.
I had a moment like that in my basement, and I had this rainbow shag rug down here, and I was like, "Oh no!" When the dogs pooped on the rainbow rug, and it was like some hair thing to
It
go
was a
with the doll.
toy. Yeah.
Yes,
It's so
but
annoying.
oh my gosh, this is so like this is maybe something I shouldn't share on the internet. But hey, we're almost to the 11 o'clock mark. It's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
nobody's paying attention anymore.
my dogs sleep in my bed, and there's
So
three
do
of them.
mine.
And I saw something that I thought was a Lego doll, Lego friend's hair, and I went to grab it, and then it squished, and I was
Oh
and I was like, well, we're washing all the bed,
no. We're doing all of it now.
all the bedding on the sanitizer cycle. I don't know
Oh
how
my
it got
God.
there. I don't know who it belonged to. It's gross.
I mean, we have a dog that has been in the process of dying for, like several months.
Months.
And I only
Yeah.
say it in jest like that because she was supposed to have 4 weeks and we're at nearly 12 weeks now. Um, so I mean, blessing, but like she's she's not dying. I swear she's stubborn and she's not dying.
She's gonna
And
keep you going forever.
yeah, but because she was about to pass away, we were very lenient about her going to the bathroom on the floor because, we're like, oh, my poor little dog, and she can't walk that well anymore, anyways. Well, now she just finds that like a comfortable thing. So everywhere in my house, you have to watch for little bombs, little pee bombs.
Oh
And
gosh.
now I'm like, oh my God, this dog is not doing bad. She's not passing away. And now we basically just taught her that it's okay to pee on the floor.
Oh no.
like, like,
At least none of the
great.
other dogs are picking up on it. That could be
Well,
good.
Ben is. Ben's like,
Really?
I
That's
don't want to
bad.
go out there.
How
You
old is
know,
Ben? Because this could be
he's
bad.
also old. He's like 15.
Okay, well, we maybe don't have too much more time.
I have no idea. But regardless, it's like my God, I basically encouraged my dog to go to the bathroom on the floor because she was dying. And then I think the pathology is wrong. I have to go back into the doctor, but she's fine. She's just old, and now I've taught her to pee on the floor. So,
Maybe we can
yay.
reteach her that, hey, let's go
Yeah,
outside.
right. She's like,
Wait till
no,
it's
it's
not
cold.
10 degrees anymore, and then
Yeah.
you're going back
Potty
outside.
train her at the same time as I potty train Penny.
There you go.
Dog goes outside, you go to the potty. Yep.
I, for a while, had a dog in a diaper, but the dog was not smart enough to not poop in the diaper.
Oh,
So that was not pleasant.
I,
But
you know, this goes full circle all the way back to those cloth diaper conversation.
I know, right? We are way off topic today.
We are always off topic.
We're like more than normal today.
Yeah, but I mean, if it feels good and comfortable, whatever.
This is
The
like
people
a
that are with
normal
us,
phone
they
conversation
know
for Chantel and I, by the way.
this is a little tame. Even
This
we
is very tame. Oh my
we
gosh.
end up on the biggest tangents that you could ever imagine. I don't know if
I
we ever get back to the point. There is no point in our conversations. We just blah, blah, blah the whole time.
I'm gonna share this. I maybe shouldn't share this on the internet, but again, we're getting to the later hours. It's okay. I was so this week my husband's a UPS driver and hit one of his buddies who delivers to our house, sent him a message that goes, "Man, I hate these people," and it had our address on it and some package that he delivered to our house because we've been getting a lot of packages lately.
Tis the
And so
season, all
it
right.
is a season. It's okay. I'm keeping him employed. And but I was like, man, if you ever get me really mad, I'm going to order a very large adult toy and make sure it ships UPS and not in discrete packaging. And that's going to be your punishment because one of your
I
buddies is going to deliver it and know what it is.
I told John that. I thought that was the funniest thing. It's like if you
So don't make me
give me a
mad.
hard time, I will make sure that something very inappropriate shows up
You will
in
never,
very in not,
yeah,
it'll be very clear what I ordered you
yes.
and it'll be very embarrassing and it'll be to your name.
You will never
So
hear the end of it at work. And so just don't do it. Keep me happy. Uh,
that's blackmail, I think, but
I think it is.
worth
It
it.
is. I think so. That would be a great prank, I think.
Oh man, that would be fun. I mean,
He would
I
not.
don't.
He would not think it's funny. He would be embarrassed to the end of the earth.
Oh
But
gosh. See, the thing is that I don't think I could embarrass John in that way. Like
uh,
it wouldn't happen. He's too John. You know what I mean? I don't know
yeah.
if there's a good way to explain it. He would think that something like that was funny, and then he'd get back at me, and it would be better than what I did. So,
Better or worse for you.
right. Well, worse for me, a better prank.
Yes.
Like it would never end. That war would go on and on forever.
I think that would be a really good prank. One time, my mom gave my dad just a mason jar that all it said on it was the smell of John's farts. There was nothing in it. There was absolutely nothing in this thing, but he was very afraid to open it and never did.
I
Uh,
mean, she could have poured wax in it and made a candle.
she could have, but he was just very like he never
Oh,
got up
very
the courage to
concerned.
open that because he knew what could potentially be awaiting for him in there.
Oh my God. That's a
Oh,
great, yeah, and that's pretty harmless.
that was a good one. Oh. I also really remember my mom pranking my aunt. She turned 40, and now that I'm about to turn 40, I remember
Oh,
like thinking that she was like really old, and now
oh
I
my
don't
God, I
feel like
know.
that old. Like,
I remember when my aunt turned 40 and thinking that was old and they got we all lived in kind of a small area and they got a not a billboard sign, but like at the gas station, the little
yeah,
sign that says whatever on it. They like bought that and had Lordy Linda's 40, but it's a
yeah,
fairly small area, so everybody like
everybody
knows,
knows. Yeah.
yeah, who this is. And then we all took a drive by of it,
Hmm.
and yeah, so it's like a very vivid memory to me, like somebody in my family turning, you know, the big 4-0 and it being such a big deal back then. And now I'm like, can we just pretend it's not a big deal, right?
I feel like I need to do 40% off any one item for my
Oh,
40th.
I feel like, yeah,
I think that's how I should do.
I probably, yeah, you should.
Let's see. M Melina says her husband wouldn't get embarrassed and he would get her back.
Exactly.
Mine would be
Yeah.
so embarrassed. I probably would also
Oh,
get it back though at some point.
oh,
But
yeah, I believe
it
that.
would be worth it, I think.
I think it would be worth it.
Someday. Someday.
Oh, this is just proof that our husbands pay no attention to this and that we
None
only pay for the
whatsoever.
Zoom basically with with our ads because
We get some time to hang out and sew and work on our things and
our uh, our
plot
biggest fans don't
plot our
even tune in.
revenge stories. Yeah,
This is actually a true crime podcast. Did
it
you know that?
is.
No.
Have you seen the joke that like the the food bloggers confess to murder in every single blog post, but nobody reads it because they jump straight to the recipe?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I did see that. And then I saw like examples of like them have like oh god, it was this whole like Reddit thing where somebody's like starts in a very normal conversation about I don't know, kittens or something like that and then turns it into like this whole plot to like take down the husbands.
Oh goodness.
And so everything starts with, "Oh yeah, I love a, good cat when they purr in your lap and we're all going to meet tonight at 9 p.m. at the Target and we're going to have a good conversation about how we're taking care of this." And then the
Oh
next
goodness.
person is like, "Personally, I'm not much for a lap cat, but we'll see you at 9 p.m. as we decide to take down." So like the
Uh,
beginning of everything starts with something else so that, nobody would ever read it.
has anyone done a good prank on a husband?
Ooh. I
I'm trying to
did a
think
good
of a good
prank
one.
on the children once
What'd you do?
for April Fool's one year. I went and bought I bought like half a sheet cake and I had them write on it broccoli cake. And then I bought broccoli and I decorated the corners.
Yeah.
And I was basically like, we're gonna have cake for dinner if you're brave enough to try it. And then I got them ice cream and I scooped out the top half of it and I put down some type of plastic wrap or whatever. And I filled that with broccoli too. And then I made straws out of asparagus and told them that they could have milkshakes. It just like went on and
That's
on and
gross.
on like this. But the broccoli cake was, really funny because it had nothing. I was like, you could have the cake if you're willing to do it. And my son is like the pickiest eater in the world.
Yeah.
He was so disappointed that it might actually have broccoli in it, but he didn't know what to do because he's like, there's literally like half a sheet cake here. Like, I can't say no to, an entire cake for dinner if
That's
I'm willing
funny.
to try it. The woman that was
He
at
had to take the no thank
Sam's,
you bite and see if it was okay or
he
not.
and see, we don't force him to take the no thank you bite most of the time. So it was kind of one of those, well, if you try it, maybe the prank is that it's because they're like, it's April Fool's. And I was like, yes, but maybe the prank is that it's actually cake with broccoli in it. Or maybe the prank is that we're pretending there's broccoli in it. It was a good one.
So
The kids
I'm
were
at a
thoroughly like mind blown.
slightly back on topic of sewing. I'm at
Yes.
about 45 minutes per hand for hemming,
Ooh,
which I feel like is a lot, but maybe by the end it won't be so bad.
45-minute per pant for hemming. Yeah, that
Hemming,
is
hemming and put doing the elastic waistband.
okay. Well, that's finishing, which feels really good. So probably
It
worth
does.
it.
So I have two done, and I
Yeah.
feel like I want to switch to blue next because I have a lot of blue.
I would probably go light to dark, like in some sort of order, so that
Well,
when
so I
you
have
accidentally change thread and you didn't need to, you don't really have to change it
I
because
have
you've
Harry
kind of gone
Potter,
in an order. Ooh, pretty.
and I have a maroon that is almost the same color as
Yeah, they get
this.
the same one.
So, I mean, I could do it in black, but I think it's going to show up a lot. So, but I only have one of these, and I have a lot of blue. So I think I
Yeah,
need to move
do
to
the
blue
blue.
next because then I'll feel more accomplished and fewer thread changes,
That's, yeah, that's
That's always
key.
a good thing
Just
in
make
my
sure you
life.
actually get all of the blue ones done and not accidentally change it and then like, ooh, have to backtrack. That would suck.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. All
Do not
right.
want to do that for sure.
All right. Do any of you like if you have folded one way, then they all have to be folded that way? Like, I think I have OCD, so or like
It's
little bits of it at least, tendencies.
for, so explain that again.
So like I noticed that when this was folded, like the crotch was on this side of this
Uh-huh.
one, so that I refolded this one so that it would
Oh,
also be the
yeah.
same.
Okay. I do that in my
Yeah.
closet. Like I have a
Yeah.
direction I fold in.
Exactly. Like
We're
my
all
pants,
people that
they
watch
all have to
too
be the
much
same
KonMari stuff.
and it needs to be in color order and
That's why
it's
my
bad.
stuff is never actually hung up in my closet. I have too many rules about what I want my closet to look like instead
Yeah.
of just actually hanging the stuff in the closet.
You know, I feel that.
You feel heard.
I feel that to my bones.
It's like if I was going to put the stuff in the closet, I would want to do it the right way.
Oh yeah. I've got like 6 blues. That's definitely the right choice to move to next. This is the glow in the dark one. This one glows in the dark.
Oh, that's cute.
And then we have more space because Angela wants to work at
That one
NASA
looks almost
someday.
dark enough to take the black.
Yeah, I probably could, but I have blue, so I'm gonna switch. And then this is one of 2 matching cookie sets for all of us.
That's cute.
But
Matching cookie set.
I know I have another one that's teal because you know me and teal.
Yeah,
There
it's
was
a
a
personal
teal
passion.
Nutcracker that's tall and skinny and would look really good next to my teal Nutcracker that is short and stubby. And so I
Oh, like
told Adam, I was like, just so you know, I know you haven't bought me anything for Christmas, and you're
this
gonna
is what
see
you're
this
buying
on
me.
Sunday. So far I bought myself the Ariel um
Ooh,
uh day dress for
nice.
American Girl doll and the Chapel Roan record. Although that
Ooh.
one's technically from my child to me, but I was there when it was purchased.
Yeah, none of my gifts are a surprise at this point. They are
I
all
know.
bought by me, ideas by me. We'll, see if any of that changes, but I'm pretty sure that I am my own Santa Claus.
I was my own Santa Claus last year, and I made it quite clear that I did not want to be my own Santa Claus this year. But so far, I've seen zero indication that that's going to happen. So, you know,
Oh, well, it was all in,
husbands.
again.
But
They're like, if you want it, why didn't you just buy it?
because I wanted you to buy it for me and to look
Exactly.
and see that I really have been getting into buying classic books and vintage editions of it. And maybe I can find a place locally where I can get something like that. Or, gee, Stephanie's crying every single time she hears the Wicked record because she's so moved by it. Maybe I'm going to go buy that for her
Yeah.
so that she can have it and she can cry happy tears all day long if she so chooses.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, no, none of those calls. We're supposed to say those things in the first 3 minutes so that somebody heard them and told him.
Oh, you think my husband watches the first 3 minutes? That's a
No,
hot.
I was just hoping somebody watches it so that they could tell him. Although I
No,
don't think
Angela
we're
told him.
alone tonight, are we?
Oh, I'm sure there's people watching. We got people
Oh,
chatting.
I was going to say, there's 28 people still here having fun with us.
Melina says we all have a bit of OCD. I think you can't be a quilter and not have a little bit of OCD.
Well, that's like what quilting is. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, the anal retentiveness that comes with that, no
otherwise, you're
chance.
doing some other kind of fiber art, I think.
Yeah, no chance that you don't have a little bit of. something going on.
Yeah, we're all a little crazy.
It's just a little.
Just a
Some of
little.
us
Some of
depends on
us
the
are a
day.
little further on that spectrum of crazy.
I feel like I'm losing it often.
I'm losing it.
Often.
It's all good. How many pants are you gonna make tonight?
Well, apparently, according to my time slot, I got time to do one more. So maybe I should do one for Lily so she doesn't feel left out.
Yeah, Lily is definitely the one that would have some sort of complaint about that too.
She would have a huge complaint about it. That kid keeps score.
Yeah, she does.
Oh
She's
my
not the
gosh.
peace lily. Is
So
the running joke. She's not our peace lily.
last
She's
year,
fun.
Chantel knows this story. Lily got to see Santa at school. And we were tight, really tight for Christmas presents last year. And I had really thoughtfully thought out everything that I was going to get.
Oh, we should
And
add that at this point, anybody that is, little ears shouldn't be listening.
oh well, yeah. If you saw somebody who sits on Santa's lap and asks for gifts from Santa, they need to stop listening now. But anyway, so Santa comes to school and Lily tells Santa that she would like a Barbie dream house. Those things are $300 new. And I'm like, crap. Because she's
Oh no.
3. And I know I don't have a budget for a $300 Barbie dream house. And so I start looking on Facebook Marketplace. I find one and it's $50 and it still has most of the accessories. So
Except it's
I jump
Barbie's
on that.
crack house.
Well, it was more like Barbie Smokehouse is what it was.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
I get there and whoever was selling it was a heavy smoker indoors. And so this thing reeks,
Stank.
like really reeks. It's all in the plastic. And I'm like, how am I going to do with this? So I'm like Googling all the stuff on how to get it out of there. And thankfully, I had like a week to get it aired out and it
So
worked
that she
out.
doesn't think Santa smokes in his
Yeah,
sleigh.
exactly. So it's like Barbie bar house. It was so bad. And
Barbie
I
bar
mean, it was
house.
fine. You can't smell anything anymore, and she loves it. She plays with it every day. It's great. So this year, I was like, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna get a really big list from Lily. I'm gonna see what her big things are, and I'm gonna say you have to tell Santa something from this list. And I thought I had it covered. I had already picked out everything for her, and I'd gotten the big things. And then she asked Santa for an American Girl doll, and I'm just like.
That was
Ah,
not on the list.
it was not on your list. So I ended up buying her an American Girl doll.
Yeah.
But
All
anyway,
last minute, right before
I
the
know.
sale is done too.
And
Oh, that's funny.
it's just like, you're 4. I'm trying to keep the magic alive for you, but man, kid, you're making it hard.
Oh
And
man.
like, maybe
I get it.
I should tell them like Santa needs to come like December 1 to their school. Because then we have time as parents to be like, oh crap,
Right.
you asked Santa for that? All right, let me adjust my budget and we'll go
Right.
from there.
Exactly.
Oh
I
my
had a
gosh.
situation this week where I ordered some packages and they showed up and it showed up in a marked box. So Hazel figured out what all
What
her
she had.
gifts are.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And so I just had to basically order like new gifts.
Angela, like, has figured it out a long time ago because she's Angela and you can't get nothing past her. And so today, like, she only had 4 things on her list this year that she really wanted. And so I was picking up like a special Pokemon card for her that she had requested. And I was like, you go busy yourself in another part of the store because it was a small store. And I was like, you go busy yourself. I'm gonna get what I need to get. And you know, and so
Yeah.
she knows that it's something, but she doesn't know what she's getting. That part will be a surprise. But
Yeah, I
but
wish our husbands would do that.
that would be nice.
You go
But
busy yourself. I'm going to be over here in the jewelry area. At least then we know they're buying us gifts.
Becky B, I think, is on the OCD train. She's saying she thought she was pretty good with the flow until she watched a video of a lady that did not iron the scraps before sewing on the foundation paper. And
Oh, I don't do that either.
until that moment, she didn't know that people
Sorry.
did that. I don't do that either. I iron. I sometimes
Well, it
don't
depends.
iron before I cut, which is really kind of a big no-no. But I've done it enough times to where I know what I can get away with and what I can't. But I
That's fair.
definitely have had people be like, "Why didn't you iron first?" Like in comments of videos. Like I've seen that.
You're like, I emotionally ironed it. It looked good enough to me.
I didn't feel like it.
It looked fine.
It wasn't that bad. All right, we're
I
about
love
to.
a good pressed item though. I mean, I'm a starch user, so it's
Oh yes,
like,
for sure.
yeah. Although I've cut back on my starch since Stay Flow is not like findable anymore.
Are you like conserving it?
I am. I'm hoarding it. I'm like, no, I gotta wean myself off of this. I'm having
Uh,
withdrawals, but I have to wean myself off of the starch. A lot of what I've been doing doesn't require any of it though. I haven't been on my machine in 2 months. So,
yeah.
I've just been English paper piecing. And that's how I would prefer to spend my holiday, to be fair. Just getting some handiwork done. Going downstairs seems overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much to do when you're a mom, especially a
There
mom of
is.
small kids who still very much want Santa to bring them fun things.
Yes. My sewing room gets a little overwhelmed with gifts and things like that that are, you know, hiding
I
out.
have I have stuff hidden in my bedroom underneath quilts, so people just don't realize that it's just
When you're
not a
messy
pile of
enough that
things.
you can hide a pile in plain sight, that is the
That's what I
goal.
did. I mean, it's I cleaned up some today, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I speak that language fluently.
I am having a moment. Why are you not? Oh, because I have to turn you, I think maybe. Or not. Nope, there we go.
Maybe.
See, this is the problem. I just don't do stuff enough. So then it's like, oh yeah, I have to turn the wheel, and then everything will work properly.
I think the first time I get back on one of the machines, I'm gonna have a moment that's like,
What
yeah,
did I do again?
how do I do this? Gotta think through this.
Yeah, I'm definitely have to think through. I wonder if I want to try not pinning. Nope, my brain can't handle that. Can't do it.
I like how that was like a very quick, like, maybe I could, nope.
Do you see, like, I see videos on my thread of like people who are like making clothing
Mhm.
and they are just whipping through it on some kind of straight stitch machine and they're getting decent results. But like, man, I could never do that. Like, just whip through something with no pins. I just
I
could
do a
never.
lot of stuff without pins. I'm not gonna lie.
I
It
piecing,
depends on what
yes.
I'm doing though.
Piecing, yes. But like sewing garments with no pins,
Ugh.
no flipping way. I
I
just
tried
could
sewing
not
a
do it.
bear without pins. That bear, he's he's special, to say the least. He's one special looking bear. I think I have
Ooh,
most
some
of my
Becky B says to check smaller stores that don't turn over their inventory very fast. And she was able to find 6 bottles of Stay Flow at Lindy's in Washington, Illinois a couple weeks ago.
wait, what? In
For Stay
Washington,
Flow,
Illinois?
Washington, Illinois.
That's where I live.
Do you have a Lindy's?
Yeah.
You and Becky need to hang out, apparently.
Ha!
And I need to
Becky.
come down for that.
I know, right? You just bought all the Stay Flow in my town, girl. What are you doing?
Now I gotta let Chantel know when you find more.
Ugh. I was the person
It did
buying it
not
all out at
even
Walmart.
it did not even like occur to me that you were in Washington too. I like my brain just did not process that.
Well, we always say Peoria, or
Yeah.
Peoria area or
But
whatever.
obviously I
But
know it's Washington because I put it in the
you
GPS.
or you don't, and
Or
you
I
end up,
don't and I go the wrong way on 80.
regardless of how many times you've come
That
this
is
way.
not the first time I made that mistake. I just want to point that out.
You can tell them why you knew you were on the wrong interstate.
Well, I got it. They were like the adult
So
stores so
the
far
Interstate
ahead.
80
And
has
I
so
was like,
many
that's
of these
on the
stores.
wrong, that's not on 74. There are none
Oh
of
my
those
God.
on this one. Oh,
Yeah, Interstate 80 is, it's like trucker
it's
roads.
truckers.
So,
Yeah, a lot of
yeah.
truckers go through.
So there's a lot of advertisements
They're
specifically for them.
lonely. They need a little
It's
something.
not quilt shops on that interstate.
I mean, there are quilt shops too, but
I hope so.
it's mostly,
It's mostly not quilt shops. It's the
yes,
people that inappropriately use the quilts.
exactly. I'm thinking you and Becky need to figure out who each other are.
Yeah, I think so.
You need to go have lunch or go visit a quilt shop or something.
Oh, we used to have a quilt shop in this town. Yeah, and unfortunately it shut down like a month and a half after I moved here.
Oh,
I know.
I was
I did
talking
not appreciate that.
with someone at Free Spirit this week, just catching up, and it is still rough out there for,
For quilt shops.
oh yeah,
I think they closed at a good time. They were retiring, is what
okay,
it um came down to. And it was a really well run place and everything like that. And yeah, I'm bummed, but
yeah.
it's probably for the best. I mean, the taxes are high here. I have to pay them. And, buying fabric at a store that's in town sounds like a good way for me to not be able to afford my taxes.
I mean, I've seen what you spend on fabric, so that might be accurate.
Yeah, especially when I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I'm running out of things to say. I'm
I'm
almost done
running
with
out
my
of,
basement.
are you? Well, there you go. That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, come on. I'm in my jammies and everything. Yeah.
I've been in
It's
my
looking
jammies.
better. Let's see if it'll show the room. Nope. It's like, no, you can just see the pictures.
You're doing fine.
No, nobody gets a tour. It was clean once. See?
Ooh, now you just cannot let your children do anything in your house tomorrow.
Oh, that's okay because they're not here.
Oh, well, there you go. Are they grandma and grandpa's?
Yeah, we sent
All
them
right,
away.
they cannot make
And
your house messy.
two of the dogs are gone too. They're the little ones are at grandma and grandpa's too because they'd be underfoot the whole time with 60 people here.
Yeah, they might get hurt,
Oh,
especially Ben.
yeah, I mean he is in everybody's business too, so he'd probably be on the charcuterie board before, I had a chance to stop him. And then the big dogs are going they're going to the doggy daycare for a day,
That's probably
day
wise.
and night.
Probably
So
wise.
yeah, we kind of decided that there was no way we could have Cubby here and have 60 people.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
He couldn't handle that. He just he means well, but he eats everything. I mean, I even had them. So when Stephanie came over and we had our
Cookie
cooking
Palooza.
show, loosely named cooking show, I had to send the dogs to the doggy daycare because
They would have eaten all the cookies.
they would have eaten everything. Like Cubby is he's like the goodest, baddest dog. He's just naughty. He can't help it. And he
I
means well.
saw a video of a basset hound counter surfing, and it occurred to me that if Jelly Roll probably could do that if she was smart enough to figure it out.
She
And
was
I'm
smart enough to figure
and
it
I'm
out.
really glad that she is not because that would be a problem.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That
And
dog
then
would eat
your
so much.
75-pound basset hound would be a 90-pound basset.
It's already a struggle, let me tell you. Keep that dog from gaining weight. Because she
It's
doesn't want to walk either. Like she wants to charge for like the first 5 minutes, and then she lazily goes along, and then she decides I've had enough, and sometimes it's hard to get her to even make it back home. And it's like, oh, you crazy dog.
I think that's an awesome, you know, way to walk. I feel the same way when I go on a walk. I get halfway there and I'm like, oh, now I have to keep going because I'm going to be stranded if I don't.
I walked at the gym this week and I was feeling really good about myself. And then I got passed by somebody who's probably 30 years older than me, minimum.
Oh,
And I was like, I'm out of shape.
I'm out of shape.
Because I was doing a brisk pace for me. And she just went, whoop. And I'm just like, damn it,
Hmm.
Stephanie. You got fat. You got fat. This is not
Oh
good.
no.
Oh goodness.
I mean, we've, I, time is not fair to us.
No, it's not, especially when we've had like a child and
You just,
mental health
yeah,
anything and
I know. And, food is tasty and it only gets better as you get older, in my opinion, because you get like a chance to eat other really delicious things. And
well,
the
my
struggle is
4-year-old
real.
all the time goes, Mommy, when is your belly gonna go back to normal?
You're
All
like,
the
no, I'm
time.
potato mommy.
And I'm just that's too. And I just all the time I'm like, it's not nice to talk about somebody's belly, so we're not gonna talk about mommy's belly anymore. And then of course she does it today right in front of my mother. And I'm just like
Oh, cringe.
I'm like, you're not, and in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, you're not built like your sister. You're built like me. And so someday this is going to be
One
your
day you're gonna
future,
be like this.
and you're going to
Yeah,
have a child that's saying, Mommy, why is your belly so squishy?
that's funny.
It's going to happen.
It is gonna happen.
It is
And
so going to happen to that child.
you're just going to have to remind her, oh, you used to say
You
the same
remember?
thing to me.
You remember when used to draw pictures of me and I have like a giant potato with stick legs?
Remember that time
And
I
you
made a
even drew a
quilt with me as a
circle
potato?
in the middle for my belly.
Oh
This
my
is so
gosh.
cute. This one I did get going the right direction.
Let's see.
The cookies are going the correct way this time.
Oh, yay.
They're the shaped cookies, the ones you like to make.
They were so tasty too. I didn't eat many of them. I only ate the ugly ones.
Yep, I'm telling you, that's what you do. You eat the ugly ones, and everyone thinks you're fabulous.
Yeah. So, I ate plenty of those. I swear to
Yep.
God, I just heard a child get up, but it turns out it was just a big dog. There's no kids here.
Oh,
Even with no kids here, I'm going to sleep with one eye open because I don't know how to sleep without them open.
my first night away from Angela, I woke up at about the time she normally would wake up, needing like a pacifier back in her mouth, like wondering what had happened to the baby.
Oh, have you ever had a situation where all of a sudden you panic and you like don't know where your kid is, but it turns out that they're like not with you? Like they're at grandma and grandpa's or something?
I haven't had that. I did have a panic this morning of where the dog was because it's so cold, and I knew that the dogs had gone out at some point in the night,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, "Where are the dogs?" And because I knew there were not as many dogs in the bed as normal, like I could not feel as many bodies. And Jelly Roll was in with Lily, but I was thinking
Oh,
they're freezing to death outside. I was very concerned. I was like flipping out, and
yeah.
they were fine.
We've lost Ben. We've had moments where he's like run up to our car as we're leaving and we were sure he was in the house, but um so then I freak out when I have a moment like, oh my God, is Ben in the house? Because there's been other times where he's just not been in the house
Yeah.
when he should be. We say that he apparates.
Willow
like in Harry
loves
Potter.
being outside, and so she has been left outside many times because she just doesn't want to come in, and then you forget, and she's the quietest of them all. Like she'll never like bark at the door.
Oh,
Like that just isn't a
nice,
thing.
calm doggy.
I know. She's perfect in every way except she drools like the grossest. Like she doesn't drool,
Oh
but she has
no.
like I don't know, like slobbery slime that comes out and gets things dirty.
Oh,
And
yuck.
it's gross. It's like
She's a
really
wet
gross.
dog. Yuck.
And she likes to sleep on your pillow. And
Oh
so
no,
then
and drool on your
it's
pillow.
like ugh, it's gross. It's only Adam's pillow. She stays off of mine.
Oh, well,
But
that's,
it was
I
very
don't see why
considerate
there's a
of her.
problem then.
I know, right? Very considerate of that dog. Oh goodness.
Well, I'm wrapping up for the
All
night.
right.
So
Well, we could call it a night early.
at least hear a little bit.
I have a long day tomorrow too. We got Nutcracker,
We both
and so do
do
you.
with that party. Oh my gosh, that'll be fun to talk about.
We both are gonna have. It's gonna be like we quit part-time jobs after tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, it really is. Well, and then, Christmas has to happen and then just like
Even
we all
that'll be
say in
easy.
adulthood, we're like after that things will slow down. But
No, it really will slow down for me, like significantly.
that'll be a big deal for you. And
Yes.
all of this for me too. The problem is I'll probably just stop picking up the house because I'll be like, "Oh my god, I need a break." And the next thing I know, it'll be back to
It'll
where
be
it
an
was.
overwhelming mess again.
Oh well.
I know how that goes.
So, well, I'm
All right,
here.
you're
I
coming
cleaned
on to
half
say
my
goodbye.
house.
Here you go. You did good. See,
We got a
Chantel
lot
and
done.
we often will call each other and just clean while
Yeah,
we're on the
we
phone with
do
each other.
this
Yes,
essentially.
it keeps us
So,
accountable.
tell us if you enjoy this format because this is very much how our conversations go
They
most of the time.
are, they're wild.
Well, I mean, we're
There's,
happy to answer questions or whatever, but we just float about
we're
like
slightly
balloons.
more tame here. Like
Oh
we're
yeah, I mean,
quite,
yeah.
we've known each other for 20 years. There isn't anything that's off limits between the two of
No, I mean, we traveled the world together now, so
us. We did.
it's very romantic.
Yeah, me snoring in the middle of the night. That was very
Me sleeping
romantic.
with my arm like this every time.
It was hilarious. I had to sleep on my one side so that I wouldn't snore. And every night Chantel's just like
Ugh.
pass out.
I sleep with my arms over my head like I'm a baby.
Yeah. Oh goodness. It's all
We're a
good.
mess.
It's, we're a fun mess together
We
though.
know we're a
So it's all
mess,
good.
That's step one.
I think so.
I plan
I
to do
absolutely
nothing
think
about
so.
it though.
Well, I like to think of myself as a work in progress.
Yeah, I think I'm a work in progress as well. Just is it positive progress, negative progress?
This is true. It could
There's
go either
progress
way.
going on.
But
Great.
alrighty. I think I'm gonna finish this and before I do go to bed. But have a good night, everybody, and we will see you
Bye.
next week.
See you next
Bye.
week.